whatever reason. And indeed, we do have some of the old faces back. And let's see what they can do with them as they start on the CT side of Nuke. We've got Doppler running sideways towards the squeaky door. Freddy B's the grenade man. No P250s, no HE for the door, no rush into the A bomb site, but they do look to burst.
Yeah, statistically one of the most comfortable maps for Ancient. And Disco Doppler ready and waiting by that door. Big without a peep to be heard from the opponents until just now. Here comes the rush into the upper bomb site. Tizian will only get one. Very nice coordination coming in from Ancient to get the upper bomb plants secured. And this will not be an easy retake. Dennis will take down Freddy B, and there is a single flash and the kid as well on God B. So that should be helpful in getting back into the bomb site. God B is the one that will be coming in from the heaven position, I believe, as we'll see Draken trying to defend against Xantares, but he won't be able to. Xantares didn't have the best day yesterday, but now they'll try to sandwich onto Grux, who's able to take down God B. That's quite surprising. It's all down to Xantares now as he searches for the kit, which he will collect. And now he's just going to go for the stick here, throwing the decoys, doing whatever he possibly can, and he has just enough time to nail it. Disco Doppler a little bit too slow, but the bomb did go down, so I've got a feeling the intensity is only going to ramp up from here.
Man like Xantares, we haven't seen him be as explosive of late as we have on previous teams and when he first joined Big. So hopefully that is a good sign of things to come. Obviously it's a defuse, but with an M4A4, he is a pretty dangerous man, or he can be, and he should be for the likes of Big. He needs to be, he must be. We have a force buy from Ragent with the bomb plant, 2 AKs. Everybody with Kevlar, only one person missing a helmet. Let's see what they can do with it. Trying to make their way into the A bomb side. A Molotov was stopped by the squeaky door. Tizian's in to trade for his teammate and try to hold down the hut, but it won't. God B there to trade, however. So we've got a 3 versus 2 man advantage for Big Clan. Doppler and Freddy B will slow things down now. The bomb needs to be collected, but they've got plenty of time to try and flank.
Yeah, God B being so weak as he is on 2 HP, life might be quite difficult. I think he is right below the heaven position in the upper bomb site, if I'm not mistaken. So that position could go overlooked. So there's a lot to be concerned with. Nice peek coming in from Dennis. I have to say, from what I've seen of Dennis, you know, he's shown quite the star power in the last couple days, although he hasn't had many opportunities to do so. He has shone whenever he has found the opportunities, as seldom as they have been. But here comes Freddy. He spotted God B. God B 2 HP. Easy frag for him. And guns to be collected now for Freddy B as well, if he can try to find his way down. But in goes Dennis. He's going to catch Freddy B dropping down. Easy kill for him to finish off. And that will be a very close round. I feel like they actually were very, Ancient were very good in how they completely surprised their opponents. But you got to hand it to Big, able to still create a defense despite that.
They did a good job of trading every kill, the CT side, keeping a man advantage for the longest time. It can be strong, obviously, to abuse the numbers into the A bomb site there as a T side. They did good damage to the CT economy. However, now they're on an eco territory, so this is a chance for Big to try and fix that. And they'll need to with Tabson on a scout, not an ideal weapon on a map such as Nuke. Only one of these plays has Kevlar, though, so many of them are in danger of being wrecked by that scout. There's a molly from Dennis, which will still allow the smoke to land in a perfect position. But again, they're going to get cut to pieces. Key for Big to survive in the numbers. I think any less than 4 is unacceptable in a situation such as this. These P250s and so on can be very dangerous, especially at Tech 9, even with the nerfs. But Big have got control. They have all the choke points into the B bomb site. They've got control of control with Xantares' position. And he can also take care of double doors. So what will Ancient choose to do?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I think that, you know, with Disco Doppler dropping down the vents right at the beginning and being spotted, I think it seemed very telegraphed for Big that then the next obvious move is the rest of Ancient trying to make their way down secret behind the smoke. So 2 easy kills for Dennis. And at this point, you know, the objective isn't really the bomb plant, because if you're being realistic, you should expect the CTs. They've had to be in position. They've had plenty of time to do so. So I like this here from Ancient, coming back out to the outside position, trying to catch some quick kills. Draken will find himself 1 headshot. 1 more would be absolutely fantastic, but it will be completely denied. God B is in position there to do so. And we'll move into the next round. And I feel like, you know, Big, that previous round, that force buy seemed so devastating. You know, we had like what was it, 3 AKs? I don't know. There's a lot of firepower behind that, more so than you normally see from a force buy in that round. And they managed to hold on there. And you know what? It feels like they could build some good momentum here if they're able to pick up this next gun round. tabseN working the scouts. And here we go. The next buy round will be coming in from Ancients, and I'm quite curious what they'll be up to. We've seen 2 upper rushes from them so far.
No one's talking, so I'm guessing it's a technical pause of some description.
I would not be too surprised to see in this series Ancient come out on top from a firepower point of view. Would you say the same?
I think it's hard to, from what we've seen of Big so far, I think it's hard to gauge how much how much firepower you can expect to see from them. You know, Dennis was using AWP. We saw some flashes, but they didn't really get a chance to show us what they can do. So I'm not sure, to be honest with you. I think yes, the big name of Smuya has disappeared, but you still have a Xantares who I think has been underwhelming of late on the team, but he's still Xantares. So I don't think it's as clear-cut as that. I think it could go either way, which is non-committal, but that's what I think. So I don't think it's that simple, Dan. I think this could be full of surprises.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we have a lot of individual power and flair, I think, on the Ancient side. And as you say, Xantares has often gone missing on this big squad up until this point. And you feel like at the beginning when he joined the lineup, with communication issues being, you know, clear, and I would imagine that's still somewhat the case, as I don't think he had great English, and obviously I don't think he spoke German either. So that was part of the initial problem. But also, it seemed like just in the system, you know, in which he's been for some time, it hasn't quite gelled with it yet to find consistently big performances as he did previously with Space Soldiers. And that's where, you know, he made his name and showed everyone how incredible he was. And since then, it's been a little bit lackluster. And then, you know, you've got tabseN, who is the in the in-game leader now.
He's supposed to be a sick fragger for them.
So yeah, he's incredible, absolutely incredible. I think the best player in Germany. I think it would be fair to say, in many respects. But he's taken up the IGL role, so I'm not sure how that's going to impact him individually. And Dennis, I think he has been impressive. I think Dennis is going to be likely the guy that will be hitting the hardest, along with tabseN.
So yeah, I think for those reasons, it's not clear cut that it's Ancient who are going to be the sick fraggers in this series. But the big question is indeed how in-game leading is going to affect tabseN's performance, because when you're focusing on your own game with a little bit of sync, let's say if you're doing some kind of 2-man play, also depending on what half you're on, mainly it's GodB who's thinking about what 10 players are doing. Whereas if you're tabseN, you might be thinking about what the players on a particular site are doing, and you've got GodB to worry about the kind of makeup across the entire map. But now he's got to do that, so it does really take away. You've got to look at the radar a lot more, try and move your pieces around. So it's difficult to kind of focus on your relationship with a player on the other side of the position you're playing and how that's changing and evolving based on the evidence each player's giving each other from round to round.
I mean, we saw how long it took Nico to become a good or competent in-game leader. He had a tenure with Mouse Sports where he took over the IGL role for quite a long time, and then he came into FaZe doing that after already having all of that experience, and it still took him some time to become a good in-game leader, whereby his individual performances also weren't too heavily impacted by that role. So it's not easy. It's no easy feat, and it's something also where sometimes there can be almost a honeymoon period with it, as there is anything, especially when teams are playing, you and they expect GodB style, but now you're calling instead. Maybe it'll be easy for the first month or so, but then people start to figure out your flow, and then you become predictable as people study your demos, and then that's really when the in-game leading actually begins. And much like if you switch to the AWP and you haven't typically used it previously, it's the first event often looks good, but after that people figure it out, and you actually have to show that you're a well-rounded player in that position, in that role. So lots of questions to be answered here, and I think this tournament, of course, is so telling for Big, and they really need a confidence boost, and they need to figure out this, how everyone gels into the system now. there's no going and practicing for a month and disappearing for a little bit to work on things. It's got to happen now.
I wonder how common mouse sponges are in people's homes. I know Lopez is an advocate of tape on the side of the monitor as a
Right.
mouse bungee, which I've never done before.
Yeah, I've always been about the bungees, but now wireless, thank God. I mean, you can get paracord, which is like so incredibly light that you don't feel it. It's almost like having wireless.
When you say you can get paracord, what does that mean? Can you elaborate on
that?
that?
Yeah, you can switch out your mouse cord. I haven't done it myself, so
I remember you had one mouse
it.
and you were trying to like shave off
Well, yeah,
the coil.
there's a lot of mice that come braided, which just makes they can't even fit in a lot of the mouse bungees that are out there, and because of how thick the braiding is on the cord, so you want to debraid it, and that will make it lighter as well.
He's doing breathing exercises. There's some kind of meditation going on here. You see? How many players do you see doing breathing exercises on LAN? I don't think I've ever seen someone do that.
I knew a couple players in Quake who did it actually years ago.
There is a side of Legia's head.
But yeah, I mean, in this spot, when you can't really communicate with one another, there is not all that much to do. So
yeah, how do you remain focused?
Yeah, trying to master sort of your mental game and not allow any anxieties to build up during that time is important.
I'm interested. I'm interested in these breathing exercises. I think I need to ask him about this later on. I noticed, Gobby, that you were doing some breathing exercises during a technical pause. Is this something you just do yourself, or did you learn it?
So you see the little red,
the big environment.
Little red stick coming out of Draken's monitor, right? I've had that monitor for 2 years, and I think a week ago was when I realized that it actually had that as like a headphone holder. And I was like, oh, this is actually very useful. I've had this monitor for like 2 years. I had no idea.
Standard, Dan.
I think I actually saw it in a picture from Sturmy.
Yeah, I think I first saw Sturmy using it.
I was like, oh, I see.
Yeah.
I see.
It's useful.
Sturmy's a very famous FPS player from Italy.
Very
for those of you that don't know. He's not a Counter-Strike guy, but he's won championships in many other different FPS games.
It looks like whatever the pause was has been resolved. There we go. There's that flashy book cover again.
Nice.
I love that.
That's nice.
It's nice, isn't it? It's a splash of character.
I want someone to like troll though and bring an Etch-a-Sketch. That would be pretty sick.
Etch-a-Sketch at the major. Who wants to be the first? Well, it seems like the round has resumed, and off we go into the game. 3-0 for Big. Both teams are on the bye, and that is a huge headshot from Draken.
And that's what I'm talking about. I'm hoping that Draken's going to be extremely explosive. He's a very exciting AWPer to watch. Obviously, can have some consistency issues, but that comes with the territory of being a very aggressive AWPer, taking risks. And if he gets a good beat on how Big like to move around the map, he's going to be having a good time. And that is a great pick to make at the beginning of the round because obviously it really puts the ball in your court. On the T side, you get to take a lot of time. You get to try to see if the CTs will try to make a push somewhere, try to punish them as they need to get information. But Nuke's actually a little bit more forgiving on the rotations than some other maps, so you're not quite as pressured on the CT side to get information when you're down a man.
Tabson's broke. He's broke as pocus. So again, Bigger, they still have money pressure in this 4 versus 5 situation. Ancient being very, very static. Tizian will drop a HE into the squeaky position. So Bigger trying to predict the timing of Ancient, and they're going to go straight through the hut position. No one's on the roof on this occasion. They're looking for it, though. God B, does he still have a second player around him? He's got a second frag with a flashbang from Tizian, and Tizian's there by the squeaky door, but he won't get anything done. And now the A site has been taken. Xantares was on the top ground, but not for long. Draken strikes again, leaving Dennis alone in a 1 versus 3, and Bigger heading to Eco Town.
Dennis, though, he can do some real damage here. If he's able to find a blind spot, but maybe he won't. Grux is right there. He's got low HP, but he's found the headshot. That's a great round from Grux, actually. 3 kills for him, and the first 2 coming in quick succession on the entry, which is so critical. And that will be the first round for Ancient, and we can't forget to give some props to Draken there as well for his efforts, getting that first initial pick, putting Big on the back foot. Big actually changed their setup after losing a man, as you often do, and tried to put more defenders on that upper bomb side, but it just really didn't work out for them. So now this is the interesting one, because we get the tactical from Ancient. So they just won a round, and you're thinking, okay, why would they take a tactical? Well, they know also that in winning that round, there's a really strong possibility now that they can completely crush the economy of the CTs, steal momentum away, and then really start racking up the rounds. So this is a pretty pivotal moment for them. So to take some time to really decide how to attack that position is certainly sensible, and not enough teams use timeouts in that manner.
Is it the door? Oh, I thought it might be the Draken headshot. Gobby C-baiting with a few bullets, making them face when the flashbang comes in. Really good for a second kill, but Tizian couldn't follow up on it.
Great kills from Grux there. Good effort from Gold B is on the famous of all guns.
Yeah.
Getting a quick 2K, that's not too easy to do at this level against AKs.
Yeah, but the sync was there with the team play.
Okay, it was a technical.
They put themselves in the best position to get that second frag. But I don't know, if they had somebody on the roof of the hut in that position, then maybe they would have had a stronger hold, but it doesn't mean that they should have been up there. Sometimes you make the right play at the wrong time. They had a good hold around that squeaky door in case of a split of the A site, but the hut was enough. The numbers game, once again, overwhelming just about, and it broke the money of Big. So, seems the pause is over. The bro fists are in.
Dude, I was like, oh, they're so smart. They got a tactical pause out there to figure out what they're going to do. And I explained it, and I'm like, oh, this is so cool.
There was a tac pause from Ancient.
But was it not just a technical? Okay, so was it tac and then a tac?
It transitioned from tac to tech.
Okay, well, all right then, cool. Nice. So I didn't mislead people. Good. Okay. It is the full eco. Okay, I actually thought the Big had enough to buy, so I was mistaken there. So they will go for a save. But this is cool. You know, Ancient, they're in a position now where they can try to take that momentum away. And being on the CT side, you're reactive. It's pretty hard to get aggressive on this map on the CT side. You can kind of pressure outside or maybe go for a ramp or lobby push. But all of those things are extremely risky.
But Big have picked up 3 smoke grenades, so I do wonder what they have. They clearly have some intention for this round. They haven't used them immediately, so there is some kind of plan. You can see Dennis is about to deploy his one, or maybe not. He had it selected for a while, but Big have got some kind of plan with these smoke grenades, and I'm curious to see what it is. Gobby's just spotting in a secret position at the moment, and he's about to get Molotov from his position. He doesn't have a smoke. Still, at the minute mark, Big are looking to force Ancient into a mistake. Gobby's been taken out, but one smoke has been deployed. And there were 2 more to go, but Dennis has lost his one, so it's just Tizian now.
Oh,
he's going to pick up a rifle, but is he able to escape? The E button will betray him for a while, but maybe he can rotate, although he is running out of teammates. And it seems Big will only throw one of their 3 smokes, so we won't get to see their plan after all.
Yeah, it's a good thing for Ancient that they managed to take the upper bomb side. You know, that moment when you see Tabson get an AK-47, you're a little bit worried for the prospects of the opponents, but he will be unable to do anything with the position that he has. But he can save the AK-47 unless Ancient go hunting. But at this point, their money is so low that there is absolutely no reason whatsoever to go hunting these big players. Oh, Xantares might have a solid opportunity here. Yes, absolutely. And that's another AK for the Big side. So now, you know, Ancient, they're still in this position where they can't afford to try to get these guns out of the hands of Big. And Big already will have a full buy in the following round. So to be able to have 2 AKs to bring into the next round and to save them $3,000 a piece, that is fantastic, especially as Tabson only hit 3,900. So Big coming out from that round really, really well. 2 kills, 2 AKs stolen.
Yeah, 2 AKs is fantastic. Maybe that'll be the difference maker for Xantares. I want to see a good performance from Xantares. I want to see the Xantares we all know and love. The Xantares who's done absolutely disgusting things in the past. Needs to be of the present as well. Ancient 1 round behind. AWP for both sides. Doesn't look like Draken will get an early pick on this occasion. The squeaky door has been blown off. It's hard to Molotov all of the hut roof with 1 molly. As you can see, Tizian's able to hold his position. Now, what will Ancient choose to do? These rounds have been slow, which is fine. There are choke points for the CTs to hold, and smokes will certainly help them. So if you wait those out, then you may have a better time of things. Definitely have better opportunities for the most part. So Ancient, they're just keeping Big honest, looking for any cheeky aggression plays, which aren't really coming from Big at the moment. Maybe once they've secured their economy, should they do that, Big will lean more in that direction. But for now, they'll just be holding angles their own. themselves, rather.
Have some waiting for anything, but there's nothing. Outside gets the pressure, the very delayed smokes here, but a tiny gap is there for Big. And Tabs is going to pick up the kill on the Disco dot plan, moving towards the ramp, and there's nobody behind that. So it definitely looks like a lurk. And Dennis, he's going to have quite the surprise. They're going to be moving in towards the main position. He gets the first one. The second player will be coming through. The flashbang's good, and it's a fantastic couple kills out of him. Now it's just down to Draken in a 1 versus 4, and there's not all that much that he can accomplish. And indeed, he will be taken down by Xantares. So that round, it clearly, you know, Ancient had a plan, but it just came out very flat.
It was a pretty slow round from them. With the smokes, it seemed that they were trying to pull rotation towards the B bomb site without showing any actual presence down there, and trying to wrap into Mini. Did not work out, though. I have to say, Tizian's support flashbangs around the A bomb site have been pretty key, even in the rounds they've lost, in getting the frags, like Godby getting that second frag around Squeaky. And you see Dennis here, you'll see a flash come up behind him from Tizian. So I'm interested by the end of this half what Tizian's flashbang stats will look like. Some of Ancient have made it down into the lower area. You can see they're mostly on pistols, so a bomb plant will be very, very important for them. Not sure, though, if there's been a rotation from the B, from Big themselves into the B bomb site, so they won't overcommit just yet. Maybe looking to catch somebody off guard. In fact, it looks like the bomb is going to be planted, and Rusty will do the best he can with a Glock. I don't think he's got a frag just yet, but maybe now he upgrades to a Deagle, he can get his first kill on the board.
It's a nice shot by Dennis, catching one player going down the vent. That might make the difference. This is a really awkward spot for Big. And Tabson will take down Crux. So 5 versus 3. So much retake utility here available to the likes of Big. Xantares will try to chase down Freddy B. He'll be successful. Even just Rusty. So they managed to get a kill on the bomb plant. That's pretty damn nice, all things considered. I feel like Dennis is going to be the star of Big this event.
Why?
Just because he's just, if you watch him in the matches we've seen so far, he by far looks like the best player on the team. The thing is, I think that Tabson's performance is slightly muted by the fact that he's he's been put in the in-game leader role, and I haven't seen some of the aggression and big plays from Tabson as we did when he wasn't in that position. So there may be less spots where he's setting himself up to succeed as before. Then it's also, we know he's going to be picking up the AWP every so often. But we've got Xantares and Tabson on the AWP this round for Big. Double ops on the CT side of Nuke. You don't always see that.
Yeah, they had it last round as well, which made it a little awkward how quickly Ancient got into the B bomb site and were able to try and spread around control and so on. But the retake was pretty solid from Big. Of course, Ancient were ill-equipped in the first place. And now Dennis moves towards this secret position. We've seen Godby here previously when Big were on eco. And again, it's a slow round from Ancient. So last time they went for a super slow round, they went for a late wall of smokes and tried to wrap into A. Didn't quite work out. Again, the counter flashes, the team support from Tizian with flashbangs was really key. 1 minute on the clock, and they haven't really made any significant inroads. And again, they've got those same smoke grenades. But Dennis has the information because he's poking around, but he has been spotted by Freddy B. Now, Big should know that it's very likely it's going to be an A play, but what can they do about it? We've got some counter grenades, but some people are moving into B in the meantime. There's a trace all over the map, and it's a man advantage for Ancient. They have great control of the A site. Molotov's on Heaven, which makes it really hard for Big to do anything. It's a 2 AWP retake attempt. So far, so good, though, with Xantares taking out Freddy B.
I was about to say that. Trying to retake with 8 AWPs on the upper bomb site is extremely difficult. I don't know how they're going to be able to pull this one off, and, well, that could make things very different indeed. Rusty will take down Xantares from main, but still an issue coming in from Squeaky or Lobby. Okay, now Rusty knows that he's in Lobby. Oh, it's fantastic with that Krieg. Takes down all 4 players, actually. Rusty, what a round from him.
It's a good way to get onto the scoreboard.
Absolutely, yeah. That is some impact. And again, it is awkward, though, having the ops. Surely, Xantares gets a kill and so on, but it's much harder to activate yourself and push those choke points as quickly as the riflers do, and also have the coordination with them when you're pushing these positions to quickly get the retake working in your favor.
I guess the timing, the late timing from Ancient caused Big to start rotating towards that B bomb site when Dennis got picked outside by Secret. because had that not happened, I think Bigger, they should be in a good position to hold the A bomb site, or at least have a pretty good fight. But as Ancient started to move into the A bomb site, you had one of the CTs going down the vent towards the B bomb site. So that was well timed by Ancient. An important frag by Secret. If he hadn't popped up again and that smoked in, who knows what might have happened. So we've got another tech pause. Hopefully it'll be a short one. But I don't know if Big are going to be able to really stabilize their economy in this half. I'm not sure how much money they have, but we'll soon find out. So we'll see how impactful that round was from Ancient. But now I wonder if Big are being conditioned to focus more on the A bomb site. We've seen 2 wraps into A from the outside with the smokes that Ancient have been dropping. Now, will Ancient read that Big will try to defend A more and try and flip the script and make more plays towards B?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think that Ancient certainly understood that they were running the double orbs, and what's Draken doing? Is that an AWP? I'm trying to read the I guess because they can't talk, they're trying to talk in hand signs, in hand signals. What does it mean? What can it mean? AWP, me, something. I don't know what the last bit was. Either way, as I was saying, it seems like they read that the defense from Big was featuring that double AWP, and they were trying to exploit that with those fast upper pushes, and so that that might really change the pace. It's also really expensive for the CTs. Of course, to have a double AWP setup is obviously the most expensive setup you can ask for, and you don't often see it on Nuke, especially because you want to prioritize utility so much. And you'll often have one of the upper players having a shotgun, and lots of teams like to run that just because it's a great option to defend some of those choke points like Dora and Hut, but also it works very well as to kind of help you to build some bank, have some cheaper buys, be able to drop more for teammates. But Big were going for the big spend.
So he's staring enviously at his teammate's knife, maybe? Very, very focused. Well, I'm not sure what the tech pause is for, but maybe this will be a longer one as people's taking off their headsets. Try and get some info for you from production. We're seeing a lot of the same mice across the different teams.
Yeah, the Zowie Divina seems extremely popular recently. I think that's one of the reasons why a lot of people haven't switched to the wireless. I think there's the really good sensors. I think that there's not, you don't have a shape that maybe is super comfortable for you with the limited wireless sensors that are out there that are actually good.
For me, I don't like changing sensor, so I don't like changing mouse. Even if it's the same shape, if it's a different sensor, the send is not the same, even at the same DPI. So I just don't want to be any part of that. I don't need that in my life. And it's interesting, like when you're in a tech pause, how do you keep focused? How do you stop your mind from wandering?
Well, Gobby's on the
not
beach
paying
somewhere,
attention?
sipping a mojito, perhaps.
Yeah, I wonder what he's visualizing. I think that's pretty cool, actually. That's something I wouldn't mind learning about. I feel like there's definitely some education to be done there for players in general. We've seen in the last years more infrastructure for teams as more money's come in and more teams have been bought by sports teams and so on. So you've got psychologists, nutritionists, cooks, things like that. But dealing with things like this, I don't know if there probably isn't. I'm assuming there probably isn't much training at all. But it seems that people are going to sit up again and get ready to get back into the server. Slouching at that point can't be good for your alertness. That's got to kind of set in fatigue. The lactic acid in the thighs.
Well, they're not doing squats, James. What are you talking about?
I don't know, man. I'm always mentally doing squats.
All right, we got the resumption of the round. We've got the 3-5 score line. Ancients, they broke big. And I was talking about the shotguns on the upper bomb side. There we go. We got Gobby on one. And the AWP will continue on Tabson. It actually surprises me how much money Big have had. They've had so many WPs. And Freddie B will be making his way, the first man outside, looking to see if anyone's pushed those positions. Taps in an off angle. He's fairly committed here if they push with more than one player. But if it's just going to be one player, Tabson will get the kill and he'll get away scot-free. And it might just be the case here. How are they going to challenge this? Currently, they're trying to make the cross. And
ooh!
Wow, that is incredible. What a beautiful anticipation. Disco Dorplan has absolutely seen that position before.
I feel like Tabson had two there, man. He had two. It's going to fire. Got beat with the shotgun. Oh, 1, 2. That's beautiful for him. Made a lot of money as well. Saw the bomb and pretty much the entire team. So in the 3 versus 3, Big pretty much have all the information. And Ancient's info is extremely limited. They are aware of this as well. So this is very difficult, a decision to make, where to go, how to use this minute they have on the clock. And it seems they will pursue the B bomb site. But you never know if they'll try a late rotation to A.
Yeah, there's plenty of time here to try to make this difficult for Big. Xantares is in a fairly predictable position. It's a strong one, and that's the reason it's predictable, so it might not even matter, as you can easily jiggle.
But if he gets a peek with his teammate? Well, maybe not. Where are his teammates? Tizian and Dennis are nowhere to be seen at the moment, starting to rotate in, but Draken's got a great angle, avoiding the HE grenade. He could have stood there and took it and kept his angle, really. And he's still going to deliver the kill, though, up close. Battle Sniper Draken leaves Dennis alone in a 1 versus 3. I thought Big would get more out of this situation, considering that Godby pretty much saw everybody after he got those 2 frags in that secret position.
I think the main problem is that, you know, Ancient, they cleared most of outside in Garage and so on, but you don't want to get caught moving out of position. So if you have someone down on the lower side already in a good position, and it's a 3v3, I think what you're thinking of is the risk of us, let's say, over-rotating or rotating preemptively, the 2 players from upper to lower, means that all the time that we're repositioning, we're vulnerable. And what if they double back and go upper? At least you know, going from upper to lower through the vents is much, you know, more quick than you know, going from lower to upper. So I think they just figured that, you know, we'll just keep the positions we have and just try to play the best. And if Xantares gets a 1-for-1, it's a 2v2 retake, and that's still like pretty decent.
I guess they could have rotated towards A as well. They could have just walked up to A.
Right, exactly. They had so much time. They had 1
minute plus.
Yeah, around 1 minute to do that. So you can't know if they're committed or not. You just got to keep your positions. As many of you will know out at home, being caught out of position is not good. Sometimes you have to make the best possible gamble you can. And Ancient really look like they're off now. They really seem to be finding their feet and momentum in this one. Was that nade damage to Grux? He is pretty low. Ooh.
Okay, Monsieur Freddy. Maybe you want to be a little careful.
Yeah, you must feel like you're so superior with the Krieg up here against USPs, but apparently not.
The CTs have got 3 P250s as well, so this has become already a dangerous round. Despite all the utility Ancient have, it's still they who have to go through the choke points. So I could almost smell disaster. Not quite yet, but almost. Seems like Ancient wanted to cross, but they will be deterred. Crossing with no smokes. Now, I wonder if they'll actually do that, because the smokes they've been deploying have been the ones close to the A main position. Against an eco, I suppose it isn't too dangerous if you're getting peeks from heaven and so on, but let's see, are they going back to line up the smokes or just to make a play inside? Big know that they haven't crossed towards secret, which means they could potentially stack elsewhere, but as you can see on the minimap, they are pretty spread out at the moment, which is to the benefit of Ancient. This squeaky door has been opened, and there's a little peek of information by Dennis. But as you can see, Big is starting to gravitate towards that A site, but somehow they've managed to walk into main Ancient, and that's going to be a solid anti-eco round now, with only 2 plays remaining for Big. So all that potential has somewhat disappeared.
Yeah, and I think this was statistically their 2nd best map, I believe. If not first, I forget now, but it's obviously one of the most played and comfortable maps for Ancient. You can see that on their T side. They seem pretty comfortable with how they coordinate things, and And it's working out really well for them at the moment. Big do have those 5 rounds though, so there's still a huge opportunity for them when they get the money going again to turn things around. Oh, Tizzy, and he's got some good pistol aim on him, and he might just have 2. Oh no, the reload comes in. Oh, he actually manages to get the reload. It has to be Rusty to get up there, and Tizzy, and it's going to take out a couple. So not bad by him, and that'll be 5-5. Ancient, is that 5 in a row for them? I actually don't think it was 5 in a row for them, but I think it's 4 in a row, something like that. Lots of success. Taps him back on the AWP. Lack of utility so far for Big. Can Ancient keep it going?
Lots of shouting from the Brazilians today, among other teams. Get here in the background is awesome. Like lands of old. It's still going on. AWPs for both sides. There's a lack of utility for Big, but they have the firepower, and that may be all that counts. They've also got the coordination with the few flashbangs they have, as we have seen around the A-bomb site. Does Doppland there look for information? Does he jump over, maybe? It's a risky situation. Picking with the AK is slower if he just wants the info. We've seen him with the nasty peeks towards Secret, but this is a bigger challenge. And again, Ancient, they like to start slow. And Big already don't have much utility left. Just a few flashes here and there. Xantares with some pot shots, just asking questions of the smoke. And this time, Ancient are creeping towards that Secret position.
Those creeks, man. They are scary. Another easy kill. Looked all too predictable there for Mr. Freddie B. And now Draken's looking to try to punish if anyone's looking for info. And he peeks from main, but there is not going to be one anytime soon. So 30 seconds to go, and Ancient have to get a move on. 2 flashbangs left for Big, that's it. So that's not great, but if they hit the shots like Tizian, then they'll be fine. And here comes Crux moving in through towards the main position. And there is an AWP down on the low ground. This could be problematic. 14 seconds, they need to plant the bomb. There's a really big defense here. Rusty comes in with the Krieg again, but he's taken down. It's up to Draken now, and there is just no time.
A slow approach from Ancient. It was interesting because they did have reasonable position, and I did wonder if they would try and cause an over-rotation once again from the likes of Big. But they were too well positioned on the A-bomb side. They had a player in Hut, a player above Hut, and one in Heaven as well. So they had enough personnel for the trade frags, for the crossfires. And now there's a tactical timeout from Ancient as their money starts to run out. This has to be a key round for them. Otherwise, they head towards Eco. You can see number 6 talking in the backgrounds. So will it be a change of pace from Ancients? They have the AWP in tow, so maybe spawn dependent, they go for a squeaky play. Another headshot from Draken. Different things are possible. But their 2 rounds have been pretty slow so far. Now do Big go for some aggression to try and throw Ancient off their game if they're coming with some kind of plan B?
One thing that's been interesting is that, and I think that was a good guess from Big in the previous rounds, is that Ancient have been heavily favoring upper. Like heavily favoring the upper bomb side. We have not had a post bomb on the lower bomb side, James, I don't think. I think we had a bomb down there in an eco round, but that's, I think, about the size of it. So perhaps Ancient need to mix things up in that sense, because right now Big are able to just be quite confident that if you're in doubt, well, they're going upper. And so far that would be a correct guess. The door will be blown up, I believe, but then suddenly... Oh, okay, maybe not. I thought that nade went through there, but never mind. Never the mind. Checking to find what he can outside. And one of the reasons why you would play slow is to catch another team sort of going for peaks, but if you play slow all the time, then they understand your pace and then they won't peak because they don't have to question if something hasn't happened by X amount of time because you're a team that's just playing slow, which is why mixing up your pacing is really important because that way you can punish peaks for info earlier in the rounds. See, that's some harassment around the door here. Feels like Ancient really won the upper bomb side again, James.
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. I was going to say, I think you saw him cross. Will the Molotov do the job?
Yeah.
It seems like it will. Doppland gets taken out, and Ancient have nothing to show for the minute that has passed already. apart from a fallen soldier. Gobby cheekily ran down the vent. Not sure how he got away with that. Now we've got a 3-man push attempt. Xantares has spotted a bomb on the ramp. Is he going to fall off? No, he's just going to stand and fight. Spraying through the corner. That's really classic stuff on Nuke from CS of old, and he will hold down his position. 2 frags. That's the Xantares you want to see on Big. Man advantage. Can it be improved for Big? Perhaps not. Grux with a 2K of his own. 2 headshots. He's activated now. There's 18 seconds though to plant this bomb, and it's not anywhere close to the bomb site just yet. Draken has to run. It's a desperate attempt. He's just got to hope for the best, but Xantares is in such a strong position. Oh my god, that's disgusting from Draken. Has he got time to plant this bomb though? In the smoke. Will there be a spray down from the CTs? Will the door be open? There's Tizian. Finds the wrong angle though, and the bomb is planted.
Unbelievable. How did Draken manage to find a plant there? That was so desperate. He's got Grux as well. They're both low on HP as Grux goes for the shot, but it's Tizian to land it. Now down to Draken. He whiffs another shot. His back is against the wall. He's got nowhere to go. Can he manage to find a kill here? No, absolutely not. Tizian finds another headshot. Great round from Big to save that one. I mean, you have to hand it to Ancient as well. I mean, there's so many cool things happening. I mean, from Tabson's wallbang to Molotov combo to open things up to the desperate attempt to plant the bomb and success of that from Draken. That was a pretty fun one.
I do wonder if this was beautiful from Xantares. Like in older versions of CS 1.6 and so on, you could spray through the corner of that box. You can do it now, but no one really does. I don't know if Xantares was a little over-aggressive on the last peak based on how much time was left to plant the bomb. There's definitely bomb plant pressure. They can't check everything, but you never know if they're going to check it. Big now, 5-7. With the bomb plant, Ancient are still able to buy. They will force it up with with 1 Mac-10 and a CZ-75 onto Freddy B. The 3 AKs are out. It was an awesome hold. I think most people, 90% of people or more in Xantares' position on the ramp are going to throw that fadeaway flash and fall back. They're not going to hold their position and get a 2K and then fall back. That's absolutely ridiculous. But that's why he's on the team. That's what you want to see from him. A lot more often than we have of late.
So Waller smokes outside. A little bit more aggressive as they will cover main. Gobby not sure what's going on here. Smoke towards Squeaky as well. So he's really sandwiched. And oh wow, great timing comes in from Freddy B on that push. It's hard for Gobby to know what's going on there. And they're going to drop down the vents. That's actually awesome. And Rusty's staying around the lobby position. So they're trying to fake Big out, force rotations, and then punish them as they're actually holding around the vent position after dropping a player down. And obviously they have the bomb plant as well. So they've got all sorts of ways to punish Big on the rotations. Big, this is an awkward one because they have to second guess every single corner that they try to take to get to that bomb. And you can see that at this point, they pretty much have to give it up. They've just lost this round positionally, outpaced by Ancient. And it all came down to that initial... Whoa. Okay, nice. It all came down to that initial frag from Freddy B with that CZ on God B at the main position. Just finding an awkward timing.
Ooh. 11 FPS? Looks like 11 FPS. Well, that's a huge round for Ancient. They've broken the money of Big. We'll see if they choose to force it around the AWP and the M4. Because the rest of this half is looking to be very difficult for the likes of Big. I think they have to turn it around with what the tools they have in this situation. So let's see what they're able to do.
Yeah, I feel like Ancient has overall looks the better team in a lot of spots, but I think also at the same time they in some respects have been a little bit predictable. I do, though, that said, like that last round a lot. That was a new round from them, the way that they threw the smokes. You know, they had smokes covering main to garage, and they also had the smoke around Squeaky door as well. So that kind of meant that Gobby had no help at all in the main position. He was taken down. Then they threatened this vent drop, which is seen by the CTs, and the bomb goes down there, but they don't have time to rotate. And then they also threatened the fact that they could double back up into the upper site. So there's like no winning there for the CTs. That's kind of a cool round, but they did win the pistol, and they managed to string together quite a few rounds at the beginning of this half. So they are fielding a competitive score at the moment. Here's that wallbang from Tizian. A couple bullets, all that's needed. Makes sense.
That is broken. That man is broken. So at the end of the round, it did look like that. 11 FPS bug to me. You can see the FPS go down on Doppler's POV, which I think some people say change resolution or something and it fixes, but I just restart my game. So hopefully that will be resolved quickly. What on earth was that? Teletubby? What is the meaning of this? Oh, we've got an extra fire keyboard.
I do not know. Oh, there's the tape. Is that what you mentioned before? I didn't see it before.
Tape?
On the left, on the monitor. No mouse bungee, it's tape.
Oh, yeah. I know. I didn't even notice that one of the players here was using tape. I was just...
Yeah.
I remembered Lurpis once mentioned on Twitter, like, you know, all these mouse bungees, why don't people just tape it to tape the cord to the side of their monitor? But he's taping to the top. God, B's...
Back on the beach.
He's mentally in the Dead Sea, floating in the salt water.
I want to try one of those...
Isolation tanks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's filled with Epsom salts or whatever, and you just
Yeah.
float. Sensory deprivation.
So yeah, I think that's the first time I've noticed in very recent memory, or recent memory in general, a player actually just using tape on the monitor for his mouse cable. Sometimes, you know, when like the middle of your mouse cable makes a loop like a circle, and then you can feel it as you move your mouse around. It's really annoying.
Yeah.
It's like the Undertaker, basically. Rolling his eyes.
Yeah, I hate like just all that mouse wire stuff. It can really get into your head as well, because if you feel a little bit of drag,
Yeah.
then it's just it starts to kind of play on your mind.
It's like a handicap.
It's really annoying. It's just really annoying. Right, so waiting for some information that we can update you guys with as well. So we are also in the dark.
Yeah, I think it's well, I don't know how you do that, how you resolve that in a tournament. But I would guess restart the game and restore the round, and you're good to go. But I wonder when that bug will be fixed. Must be difficult to find the source of a bug and then solve it.
Yeah. Yeah, I got no idea how that works.
Yeah.
I'm no coder.
There's a coder I follow on Twitter. Her username is Cassie Doe. I forgot her actual name. But she spoke to Hasbro to get the Scrabble keyboard keyset made. But I don't know if you saw that Super Mario Maker 2 level that someone did with those giant flame ball things that swing around like the hands of a clock. But she tweeted and said like trying to patch a legacy code base, which I guess is kind of like CS considering how old everything is.
Yeah, that's the thing as well, especially considering how the engine's been reiterated and reiterated and reiterated, but it's never been just a new engine. I mean that's why, like, for example, the optimization on let's say The Witcher 3, as far as like a AAA titles go, is just so well optimized because they built the engine for the game. Like, but almost no one builds their own engines because it's so expensive to do that. So most people just adapt other engines, which is not the cleanest, obviously not the cleanest solution. And as there's, you know, all kinds of probably terrible code in there, as well as good code, but everything is a muddle. So I'm sure it takes a lot of time to fix that stuff.
What is he saying? Do you want a beer? 2 beers? Can we get 2 beers, please? He's like, oh yeah, I think I'll have a beer. Yeah, why not? Cheers. Okay, production said 3 minutes. They've identified what the issue is, and they look to sort it out. Thank you, production. Well, again, if you are just joining, Big have a AWP and an M4 saved from the previous run, but the money is up the toilet, to put an English phrase mildly.
Up the toilet?
Well,
don't you mean down the toilet?
The thing is, the phrase. Look, I'm not going to question the logic of the phrase. Okay, it's an English phrase.
But it's down the toilet. That's the phrase.
No. It's not toilet. It's a word that starts with S. But I guess there's a U bend, right? So it goes down and then it goes up and then it goes down again. So, in the English phrase is up the S pipe, if you like.
What does that mean?
Well, I'm
Up the
sure
what-
if
up
you
the
don't,
what pipe.
if you can't figure, ask on Twitter. Someone will tell you. Okay.
I want you to tell me.
I can't. We're professionals.
Why are you making everyone else do the work for you?
I
Very
feel like
lazy.
it's you who needs to work, not me. Okay. Tweet down the S words. Just not even in context. Just tweet down the S words at DDK Esports. Is that it? DDK Esports.
Yeah.
Yeah, at DDK Esports. Tweet MS words, and then yeah, that'll make me happy. All right. It seems that they have solved the what I presume is the 11 FPS issue for now. And on we go. So the question is, are we going to see a force buy from Big? I think their money is ruined for the remainder of the half. And if I'm not mistaken, I think that they're probably just going to lose all the rounds if they don't force buy. But let's see what they choose to do. Maybe there's been a miscalculation. Gobby is back from his. Do you remember when when Thanos clicks his fingers and he's just in that?
I haven't seen Avengers, James. So
Oh yeah, you don't know. As far as you know, Avengers is Lord of the Rings. Well, for those of you at home, when like he clicks his fingers and he's in this nice pool, like ankle height pool of water, I feel like that's where Gobby is. All right, so they have gone for the force buy. It makes sense to me. Tabson has the AWP. Let's see what he can do with it. Ideally, he needs to get something quick. Maybe he goes towards main and tries to catch Draken peeking Squeaky Door. Who the hell knows? There's a Molotov from Gobby, and there's Draken by that Squeaky Door, and there is Dennis with the FAMAS, in fact, rather than an AWP, and it's a quick rush into or towards the B-bomb site.
yeah, this is really fast. On a gun round as well, with so many, like all the riflers down the vent without nobody dying. That's
Unprecedented.
awful. That's awful for Big. And it's in part because their buy wasn't optimal. And that's kind of part of the problem. You don't have the utility to defend it. You don't have the weaponry to spam it. And this might be a wrap here. Look at the positioning that they have on the bomb. Yeah, indeed, the CTs are just saying goodbye and good night and heading over to T-spawn for a break because there's nothing that they can do here. Again, another round where Ancient have actually just outpaced and outpositioned them. And, well played to Ancient to know to run this round at this point. Obviously, when you say to know to run certain rounds at certain points, there is always an element of risk and gamble because you can't be 100% sure what the other team is doing. But Xantares. Oh, I thought that could have been 2K for him, but no. 7-7, and Ancient are having quite a good T half. If you think again that Big won the majority of their rounds in the first portion of the half off the back of the pistol. So very well done by them.
On the plus side for Big, they managed to save most of the weapons. Importantly, the AWP. Here are the scores on the doors for the time being. It's a team effort from Ancient. But more or less the same for Big. Tizian leading a little. But let's see what Ancient are actually doing at the beginning of this run. Tabson's outside of the AWP. There is a player on a silo just keeping the CTs honest. There's no flank from the CTs. Nothing crazy is happening. Sometimes it can do with a forward smoke grenade on the other side of T-Red. And Ancient will once again start slow. Draken's had that Squeaky Door open. He's looking for a peek, looking for an over-rotation. We had Gobby mid-round cheekily just run into that vent in the previous round, and he managed to get away with it versus a rifler. So who the hell knows?
Who the hell knows? Tabson with the AWP. He needs a big round. Can he find the damage? He will be, well, actually, no, he won't be smoked off. And in fact, he'll get a kill. But there's a beautiful AK shot from Grux. And Tabson was not pleased with that. He needed to convert more in that position, especially with the fact that they're just facing him for a trade. And now Xantares with the scout is going to have to try to remedy the situation. But he may not get any play with this. Although, actually, as I said that, they're not going down secret. They're going towards Garage, towards Hell. So maybe he will, after all, find some players to fight.
No.
They are walking all the way, and he's rotated down towards Ramp here. So this area is very open, and the distance has been closed by the T side.
Yeah, he's missed his opportunity. Tizian had to get that kill. They are wrapping the A bomb site from almost all directions now. Ancient have taken great position, but they still need to plant the bomb. There are 3 players to try and stop them, so they may be running the clock a little slow, especially when Gobby is creeping around. Xantares is taken out now, and Gobby's got to be playing the time here. He's got 10 seconds to try and do something. Grux has been taken out, and Rusty's got the bomb in his hand. 6 seconds to plant the bomb. Gobby goes for another peek, and the bomb has been planted. Dennis was spotted around the vent having to rotate, so there were some small chances there for Big, but now they get even smaller. Small to 0. It will be Ancient leading by 1 round at half-time, 8-7. A nice flurry of rounds for them as they break the money for Big. We'll see what happens.
Welcome back, ladies and gents. Ancient in that last round of the first half managed to outposition their opponents again. And that was, I think, the theme of the first half. Despite losing the first few rounds due to losing the pistol, Ancient managed to show that they had a great T side. And even though Big read some of their tendencies here or there, ultimately going to the second half, it looks like Ancient are pretty favored as long as they can get a good start themselves. But that said, the T side is a very different story, and Big, at least historically, have had good T sides under God B, but they'll be under Tabson's leadership. So perhaps their T sides will be a little bit different.
It's almost like a towel. I feel like we need more people with towels around their necks, just for the arrogance of it.
I think it's
towels and maybe even bathrobes, like like fancy bathrobes, not just like your local store bathrobe, but something with a little sheen to it. I was going to get a nightgown. I was going to come out in a nightgown one day, but I didn't pull the trigger on that, Dan. I think the tailored velvet jacket was enough.
Never enough. Nothing is enough.
Those things are bloody expensive as well. But maybe a towel around the neck.
Hot water bottle
will be a nice look. A nice white towel. Oh, where's he off to? Sorry, lad, I've had too much coffee. I'll be right back.
It's quite funny watching them over there, though. Quite animated.
Yeah. It's nice being in the same general area as the players, all shouting at each other and whooping and all that. It's good stuff. All right, then, let's have a look at the makeup of this round. Tabson has been dropped to P250 by Tizian, I do believe. Gobby's gone for full grenades. He's holding the HE, which is surely going to go for Squeaky. I think we're going to see a fast A play. But then again, maybe not. There is the HE for the Squeaky door. So he's suggesting a fast A play. But it could be that they draw the players in the CTs and then wrap them from outside. Grux is wondering. And I think that is what we're about to see. So who's going to strike first? Gobby distracting with more grenades. Tabson about to creep around the corner with a P250. So his teammate to bait first. Can he trade for his teammate? No. Grux holds down that position. And now the push has been neutered and they continue to get worse. More headshots flying in from Ancient and there's no response to any of them from Big. We've got Tizian running away, tail between legs, but he will be eliminated, exterminated by Ancient.
Okay, that's a pretty damn strong pistol. No kills on Big, really sucks, and no bomb plant at all. That means they... It just sucks so much. I mean, if you compare it to Ancient on their pistol in the first half, sure, they lost it, but they managed to get so many kills the next round, and the bomb plant the next round. They have AKs, they got nades, they have a really strong option for damage, but here, Big just don't have options. They're going to go for a save which features 3 nades.
I have to also add that not only did they not get any kills, but I don't think they did enough damage to the Kevlar of enough players, because when you see a second round where there are 3 M4s and a FAMAS, then Ancient have got a lot of helmets for $350, because otherwise they simply won't have the money to do that. So that is a huge start, because it means they don't waste money on the SMGs. 4 players have got rifles in the first buy round for the CT side. That is a huge start for Ancient.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is.
The cleanup from Rusty.
Splats.
Fast fire rate of the MP9 and a tight choke point. Going to have a great time of things. Now we've got the buy for Big as well. Double Creek, nice to see. 2 scopes for them, a bunch of smoke grenades as well. We'll see if they put the wall outside. We've got the usual grenades from Ancient, the Molotov towards the Squeaky door, and one inside the hut as well. So if there was any fast play from Big with less grenades, it would have been shut down, but they'll slow things down. Expectant maybe of these CT grenades.
The issue for Big is they have so few nades themselves that at a certain point they're just going to have to try to move together and trade kills to gain position, as opposed to using grenades to force rotations and openings to gain position. So you really have to make it count. And this is always a devious spot. Draken, you may think, oh, like, surely you can just leave him there because he's got such a strong off angle, just boost it up. But if Draken baits, it just guarantees that Grux will get more than 1 kill, because they will not check. They'll be occupied with checking for Draken again, and they won't be thinking about that. So, and it looks like Grux might actually get a lot of action here. So I wonder if Draken's in position still to bait for him. He's actually not anymore. So Grux will have to defend the ramp by himself for the time being, especially now that Gob's pressuring outside. That might keep some CTs outside. all going to be down to Grux on the ramp area. Here they go. He's trying to hide. Well, they check for this. Of course, Xantares does. And again, that's why you need that distraction. Xantares was the first man out, and he's just looking to that position. And here they go down lower. They've gained so much map control now.
Look at Godby holding down the vent, stopping the CTs from getting to the double doors, and he knows that a repeak is unlikely, so he goes elsewhere. But Rusty's just brazenly gone out, and he's made his way towards Secret, but Tizian is waiting there. So this is a really rough situation for Ancient now. 3 players remaining, maybe looking to save, but Godby's still lurking, still looking for something, and find something he will. Draken and Disco Dopplan remain running to T-spawn, trying to hold on to what they can as Big reduced the deficit down to 2. 5 players survive as well, which means that if Ancient are to have a successful round, there's going to be plenty of pressure to come because Big should have the money for another buy.
Yeah.
That screaming in the background is amazing.
And Ancient will have 5 rifles next round, given the... Oh, Godby's going for it. He's going to get... They're going to hear him running, so... Okay, he's just going to hold it now. But yeah, so there'll be plenty of cash for a full buy. Unlikely we'll see an AWP. Oh, actually, okay, Rusty's going to drop an AWP. All right. So they should still be able to get everything they want. So, and that's just that goes to say, or goes to prove the point that you said earlier about their first round being so clean that they had way more money than you'd normally have by this point. And that is going to be annoying for Big. So they need another good performance in this round as well. Draken on the AWP. He's going to be taking it towards the lower bomb sites. And I imagine he'll be all the way, yeah, he's around Secret now, so he can be the guy to keep tabs on the outside. And Big are playing a fairly slow round at this point. They haven't thrown any smokes outside, and Draken's going to take full advantage of that, getting a pick, popping up through Secret.
That's a lot of utility lost. You can see that Big have held on to almost everything at the beginning of this round. So if they are to go for an execute, maybe someone will have to take Tabson's place. Although now he can focus on the rest of his teammates. Does this go to the A main entrance, or mini if you are American? Draken holding position, Dopplan. If he goes for a peek, he could be in a lot of trouble. There's still something for Xantares to work with, but there it is. Dopplan didn't even see him. Nothing is for free in Counter-Strike. 4 versus 4, 40 seconds remaining. Ancient trying to delay the timing of Big with the utility they have left, but that's the last Molotov. Got Big creeping through the smoke. They are spraying. They've got the numbers advanced, but Freddie B was delivering, and Rusty's there as well to trade for his teammate, holding down, getting the 1 versus 1s. There's a bomb carrier, but he can't eliminate him. Looking for the plant, but there is no mercy because Grux is up top. And it's another round in the bag for Ancient. 11-8, that's what they needed. They survived with 2 players. Happy faces, but what is the money saying? Oh my God.
Wow, okay. I don't know if you guys heard that, but that was aggressive.
Yeah, the other team, all I heard is, you are effing trash. Must be Americans. Anyway, it is the European miner here. So let's see what the situation is for Ancient. As you can see, look at the money they have in the hole. So yes, they won the round, but will they be able to hold here? If they don't, it's Eco Town. Nobody wants to go there. The money's broken for both teams at this point. So this is a really important round for the next few rounds. For Ancient to pull away of the Big to catch up. There is a falling Tabson, taken out like a lemming by Disco Doppler.
Yeah, that was actually awesome that he anticipated that he might get punished for spraying through the smoke from Tabson. That's actually insane. It seemed like he was very well prepared for that. Maybe he heard Tabson drop onto the main roof. Maybe he baited it out. Maybe that was the whole point. Oh, Draken over the top of the smoke. You don't expect that. It looks... wow, I don't think Dennis is ever seeing that coming. So
tremendous.
This has gone very badly for Big. They've had to go back outside again, and this is really the last desperate option for them as Lower was shut down completely. And Godby will try to make his way towards the hell position. However, time is becoming an issue now as well as the numbers being very disadvantageous for Big. Down 2 players against the 5 of Ancient. Godby has made his way up towards heaven. There's a nice pick on the upper bomb site from Xantares from main. So now they can start to sandwich on these players. But no, Godby can't join the push. It's all on Tizian and Xantares.
They have to plant for main now because the Heaven position has been compromised. But they're going to plant for Heaven anyway. Trying to draw out Freddy B, but look at the time on the clock. He's been taken out. There's a trade from Xantares, but he's blind and he's dead. 3 players survive for Ancient, and they pick up 2 AK-47s to make life even worse for the likes of Big. And with no plant, it is absolute eco-town for them. $2,500 per person as Ancient look to build their economy now and indeed pull away from Big. Already 4 rounds in the lead.
Yeah, they needed the plant so bad that you're right. If they had a plant, they could try to... I mean, they could really throw Ancient off guard. I mean, they would have to take a round in which they'd probably be less likely to win, but still, you know, it'd be a good shot, and it would break Ancient. And Ancient are getting too far ahead at this point. This is the round where if they win it, which they should, because they're only against pistols, they're going to be 13-8, and at that point, it starts to get very scary for Big. And oh man, that is an enormous gap. That is an enormous gap. And Draken's having a lot of fun here. Does he know that Tizian's also moved past? I mean, he's very, very strong at the reactive shots here. So if Tizian jumps around the corner and tests his reactions, I don't think he's going to survive. Oh, if he pulls a pistol out, well, okay. Still going to work out for Draken as he swaps out to the P250 on the ground. And in comes Xantares, offering himself up perhaps to the gods once again. You know, the bomb is there. They know there's no choice for tabseN and Xantares other than to go for it. This is a slow bleed, but the result is inevitable. Oh, the hopelessness of this. All right, 13-8. Ancients, 3 away from the W in map 1 of this best of 3. And I got to say, they're looking really confident this entire match. They've been really calm.
I like this grainy filter. Reminds me of high ISO black and white film. Tri-X +3. The film photography nerds. Inferno is the second map of this series. Dust 2, a decider. Should it be required? Will Ancient be in the lead when we get to map 2? We might not have to wait long to find out. It is another buy for Big, but it's a terrible start for them as Gobby's eliminated immediately and Draken is fishing. He's he's waiting for something. 5 versus 4 lead for Ancient. Very early frag for them. Beautiful stuff. And it seems that Big will have a slow pace of their own, almost mirroring Ancient, although they do have the 4-man situation very early indeed. tabseN makes his way on top of Mini, and Draken will seek him out. Oh, he spotted a cap and taken him out in the chest. He's punctured him, and that leaves 3 players for Big. No answer, no position just yet. Still smoked off in the ramp.
Felt like the only thing showing was the guy's head. It's not a headshot somehow. Well, there's a gap. There's a gap in the smokes again. Oh dear, that is really not good there for Big. And they didn't lose too much from it, but the round is going to be lost regardless. So 14-8, it seems as though Ancient are just guaranteed for this one. The money is broken again for Big. They've got that loss bonus, but they didn't get a bomb plant again, so they are in this awful position where they should probably force up twice because they're going to have 2 somewhat okay chances versus 1 chance which is good. And they're going to go for the... It's a pretty big save, actually. They're going to have more than enough money, more than they can spend in the final, or while playing against Match Point. Next round.
Rough situation for Big, but the situation is rough in general, as we know. Same could be said for both teams, but Ancient are looking strong at the moment. This will be a confidence booster for them. That's a nice trade, actually. There's some potential for tabseN now. He's got a choice of weapons, an AK or an AWP. He'll go for the AK, more nimble in a 1 versus 2. And he has plenty of time, 2 bomb sites to go to. And he's got 3 routes to get there. So there's not enough for Ancient to cover with 2 players. What do they choose to do? We've got Rusty in Heaven. And Freddy B, I believe, is in control on the B bomb site. Pretty good angle, pretty good coverage. Be a very long rotation for tabseN to get into a flanking position, but Freddy B will move perhaps just in case. Into the vents he goes. tabseN makes his way into B. Some clearing to do, but he doesn't know if anybody lurks behind these doors. And if he tries to peek one of them, that will instantly concede his position. But then again, so will the smoke grenade and the bomb plant. 1 versus 2. Both players on the A bomb site, it seems. Both players with kits. tabseN goes to the ramp.
There's a smoke to try to cover the exit. And there's the flash as well, moving together. And tabseN worried about a potential for someone to be on the flank, but they will be trying to play the trade game. And the first one goes tabseN's way. That's excellent work. He tries to spray through the smoke. Oh man, Rusty's going for the hold, and there's no way that tabseN's able to stop him, missing every single bullet in the smoke. That was a bold move from Rusty, but it pays off very well indeed. And that's going to be Ancient now on 15 rounds.
That was such a huge opportunity for Big, but unfortunately it didn't go the right way. And here they are. No more error. They must win every single round. Not often you see this done. They've got the tools to do it. They've got the players to do it. But is their team in the right state at the moment? Will they be allowed by Ancient? Rusty taken out early. So far, so good. 2 super fast frags for Big. Round 24 looks to be a good one.
Very true. Draken able to get the first kill there as he's challenged to drop the smoke to keep himself alive. He's got a flashbang as well. He needs some help from a teammate, perhaps, but maybe he doesn't. Nice shot onto tabseN. Good flick. Spots another one there outside of main. The flashbang's actually going to work out, but Xantares is going to stare straight into it in case Draken peeked with it, which he did. And that will be a 2v3 now for Ancient to play with, and Grux is thinking about whatever risks he can take to try to bring this back into their favor. And he will move up towards the secret stairs once again. And that's actually going to pay off, I think, for Ancient, because it gets them some information that the big team are not going outside, which means that they can only be going one way at this point, which is lobby. And Discordoplan is there, ready and waiting, already with the off angle. This should be very good if he can predict them in the right timing. There's one. How many more? Just the one, though, as the information is all there, though, for Grux.
Smart stuff from Big. Put the lone man in first. And Grux has a great angle. The bomb's fallen. He's going to try and use a flashbang to maybe change his position. Flashes from both sides, but that will be it. A lovely burst straight in the dome. And it's a very strong first map from Ancient. Look to be a more solid team on the map. I think they've got better results on it, and that will certainly continue